Hi, friends. Okay, so last time we were together, we had made some line art, or we started it anyway. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do with my line art today, and you should do too, is I'm just going to clean up any extra pencil marks that I have, or any mistakes, or maybe anything that I tried to erase before and I couldn't erase it. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and write my name in here. So what you'll want to do is write your name too. So you're going to write your first name, your middle name, and your last name. Let's do this with pencil because, we don't want to accidentally spell our name wrong and then have to keep it there, right? All right. And we're going to write our names in a shape or a space. If we run into another shape, let's say we're writing our name here, and we run into another shape, we're just going to put our letters behind it. Let me show you what I mean here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my name here. All right, my first name, and I want to write this really nice and big, and I want it to take up most of this space if I can. So I'm going to try and stretch it out. You can see how my W here, let's see. You can see how my W here had to go behind this other shape. And so the way that I did that was just, I was writing it, and then when I came to that space, I kind of lightly went over where it would go and then continued back here. Something else that you can do, if it's going to go behind another line or shape, you can write it here, and then you can erase where it went over, so it looks like it was under. All right. So while I'm writing my name nice and large, go ahead and write your first name nice and large so that it takes up that space. All right. I had to do a lot of erasing there because my letters just weren't quite the right size. So if it takes you a minute to do this, that's okay. That's to be expected. All right, so there we go. You can see how the name takes up that whole space. That's my first name. You still call me Mrs. Cozy though. All right, now I'm gonna find a space for my middle name. So my middle name is short, 5 letters, just like my first name. But my last name is really long. So I'm gonna make sure that I don't put my middle name in a place where my last name should go. So I'm gonna find a space that looks like it could fit just a short name. I'm gonna try to write a little bit light so that way if you erase, then it's easy to erase. And again, this might take a minute. You might want to erase and then restart, and that's okay. But don't erase too much, sometimes you just have to be okay with it. All right, so there's my middle name, Marie. All right, and then I need a place for my last name, and you find a place for your last name too. I'm going to try to put mine in this curvy line here. Let's see. Okay, and so you can see how when I was writing my name, I wrote it all along the bottom line here. So that told me how much I needed to rotate my letters here. That's my full last name, Koziarski. All right. So after you write your first, middle, and last name, okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over our letters with that black marker. You can see I'm turning my paper to make this easier for me. after I go over my letters, again, I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit, erase any pencil marks that there might be here. All right, after that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 5 shapes or lines to make extra bold. Okay, so I want those to be extra thick. And I'm going to do that by going over them again with a black marker. So I already have this line that is extra thick. So now I'm going to go over some of my shapes just to make them extra bold. And again, I'm just making my lines in that shape thicker. So when we're doing this, making these lines and shapes more bold, it really catches the eye when you look at the artwork, so it brings attention to it. All right, and the last one. Let's see. There we go. All right. So if you need to pause to catch up, that's fine. You can always pause, but I'm going to keep going here. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some extra shapes and lines inside the larger spaces. Okay, that's going to break them up more. I can add curved lines, I can add straight lines, I can add triangles, squares. All of those are really great dividers. So again, I am just adding extra shapes and lines in here. So go ahead and you can do that too. So you can see the types of shapes I'm adding here. You can add your own. So this might take you a little while. It's going to take me a while too, so I'm going to go ahead and probably fast forward this for you. Okay, we're not quite done yet. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some designs in here. I'm going to add a variety of lines to fill my shapes. And I'm going to try to use some of the same designs more than once to create repetition in my piece. And this will make my piece seem more active and create unity. Okay, it'll make it look more balanced and it'll look like it goes together. All right, so you can add some lines that are close together and thin, like this. So if I add them here, then I'm going to want to put those lines in my piece somewhere else. Okay, I could also add some thick lines that are far apart, and I already have some kind of thick lines over here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in some of these spaces to make these look like really thick lines. And again, since I did this here, I'm going to find another spot on my piece that I can have that same type of design to make that look like it belongs on this piece. All right, another thing we can do is add small circles in a line. So we can add small circles like this, you know, within the line. And since I added those there, I'm going to add some more small circles over here. And maybe I can put some more over here. All right, something else I can do is I can do some cross hatching. So to do cross hatching, you put your lines very close to one another and then you cross them. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to put some lines that are like super close together, like this. And it's okay if they're not perfectly spaced. And then I'm going to put some lines that are the opposite. Okay, like that. So I'm going to find another space on my page that I can do that same type of design. Let's see, another type of design that you can do. You can put some bumpy lines along a straight or curved line. So what that looks like is this. You can have these nice bumps like this that go along a line. All right, and then I'm going to put more of those bumps over here, I think. So try out some of these designs in your artwork. I'm going to keep going here, but I'm going to fast forward it for you. All right, so that's it. So this is going to take a little bit longer than our last project. So here's what I want you to do. Finish this for this week, turn it in, and then keep this in a safe place because we're going to pick it up next week, the first time we meet next week, and we'll talk about coloring then. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you next week.